He's throwing uppercuts from way outside. Might get countered by Corrales.
Two fearless, gutsy, determined fighters. Excellent two-way action in that last round. And this is developing into a very, very exciting fight. Round 4.
Now, I'm going to tell you something. Diego Corrales has done some fantastic body work early in this fight. So has Clottey. Oh, I think Clottey hurt him with a body shot there. Both, I haven't seen this much great body work since, dare I say it, the first Castillo-Corrales fight. Good right hand downstairs by Corrales. He's fighting good, very well now, but the problem is it's still the wrong place for him to be.
Yeah, they're in the trenches on the inside. Just wonder how much longer they can keep up that incredible pace. There's a low blow by Corrales.
He's got to be close to taking a point away. Corrales has thrown about 5 low blows in this fight.
Back comes Clottey, and they continue to just wing away from very close range. Now Clottey with a near low blow.
Gil Clancy, the great trainer and broadcaster, used to say it. My guy gets hit low, I send him out and say, return the favor, pal.
Yep. Clottey had a low blow festival with Richard Gutierrez. And, of course, he was DQ'd, although questionable, against Carlos Baldemir. That was upstairs to the head. Clottey controlling that fight up until the stoppage. So Clottey is sticking to the script that Al wrote for him in the keys to victory, but Corrales is not.
Now, Clottey's work rate has slowed a little bit. But when he lands punches, they're very significant. But Diego's having a fairly good 4th round.
Got Clottey pinned in the corner, but Clottey could be playing possum there.
I don't think Clottey's hurt, but Corrales is making some things happen.
There's a good right uppercut on the inside by Clottey. But Corrales continues to trap him and pin him in, but Clottey's throwing back. Clottey doesn't seem to be hurt at all.
Did Corrales punch himself out a little in that sequence? Will Clottey come back in the final moments of this round? Let's see.
Well, he certainly did in the last round. Final 30 seconds of round 4. It's scheduled for 10. Beautiful combination upstairs and downstairs by Clottey, showing fantastic hand speed. Oh, what a blistering left hand to the jaw by Clottey.
A pretty close 4th round, but the showy punches of Clottey might win this round at the end.
And the left uppercut to the chin by Clottey, scoring. Corrales' punches not having much effect. Most of them being blocked. Left hook to the head by Clottey. Clottey bobbing and weaving now, eluding punches. Oh, brother. Clottey raises his arm and hears it from the crowd.
Give him his ring. You either stay in close or you stay out at your range. Look at me. You either stay in close or stay at your range. Get him wet. Get him wet. Give me some water. Let me see the note. Okay. Listen to me. You either stay in close with the head on his right shoulder, crisscross for the uppercut.
Clottey was pinned against the ropes for a good portion of that last round, and Diego Corrales threw a lot of combinations. Some of those blocked, some got through, trying to work the body. You see the defense of Joshua Clottey. It's so good. And then after this sequence, Clottey would do some good work with the uppercuts. Now, the uppercut is such a major weapon in this fight for Clottey. When he throws it from the inside, it's good. When he throws it from the outside, he risks getting hit. But so far, it has been, along with those hooks to the body, a big weapon for him.
Now, we've said this before, we'll say it again. It's almost impossible for Corrales to be in a dull fight. Corrales comes out ripping, but they're blocked by Clottey. Clottey with a very tight defense, elbows in, hands high. So let's see if Corrales attempts to go to the body. Corrales with that great uppercut once again. That has been such a successful weapon all night long.
But you know, while we thought Corrales was stunned back in the 1st and 2nd round, since then these big punches by Clottey don't appear to have had him in big trouble, even though they're landing clearly. So Corrales is absorbing them, even those big uppercuts.
He is. You wonder how much longer, though, he can put up with this. Oh, back comes Corrales with a big left hand to the head of Clottey.
This is a great boxing match. Skillfully fought and as exciting as you'd like to see.
Back and forth action.
Wow, look at those combinations by Clottey on the inside.
One-handed. one after another with the left hand. And he's just so much more effective when he does that.
You know, we saw...
The fans are getting behind Chico. Fans are hoping to see Corrales rally. Clottey taking the early lead, round 5, halfway through, scheduled for 10, non-title affair. But you wouldn't know that by the aura in this arena.
It's round 5, like round 4, one that Corrales is winning early. Let's see if he can sustain it over a whole round.
So far, Clottey has been able to muster and come back in the latter part of almost every round. With a minute to go, let's see what happens here. Here he comes. And he's the one with his back to the wall. Wow. And he's fighting off the ropes. He's got nowhere to go, and he's scoring. He's winning this scenario. Unbelievable. What a shot to the head of Corrales.
He's hurt now. Corrales got hurt with that left uppercut, I believe.
But he continues to fight back. That is vintage Diego Corrales. But he is in rough shape here. Rough shape.
It's a round in which Corrales has probably done more, but the more solid punches landed by Clottey. Tricky round to score.
And those punches blocked by Clottey. That one wasn't, but back comes Clottey. Sustained back and forth. Two-way action.
It's a battle of attrition, it really is.
Oh, what a right hand. A whip of a right to the side of Corrales' head by Clottey. Clottey with a left hook, an uppercut, a right, a left, and he's all over Corrales. And he nails him at the bell, just for good measure.
Sit down, baby. Sit down. How do you feel? What's your mouth?
Move your head on both sides. On both sides, you punch
Listen
on
to me.
both
You've
sides.
got to go shoulder to shoulder, here and here. When you're staying here and you're looking at him, he is teeing off on you. You hear me? Get your arms down, baby. Can you hear me, baby? You've got to start moving your head. How do you feel? Let me feel it. How do you feel?
What a scintillating 5th round. And in the corner, that hand speed of Joshua Clottey, showing again how effective he can be when he throws punches in combination on the inside. In a round in which Diego Corrales had won the first 2 minutes of the round, but toward the end here, Clottey became very, very active and fighting off the ropes did well. But Corrales never stopped punching, and that's been the hallmark of this fight for Corrales. He's kept himself in it by continually having a good work rate, even if all the punches don't land.
Right now, this looks like a prelude to disaster for Diego Chico Corrales. We'll see what happens from this moment on, round 6. It's scheduled for 10. Supposedly welterweights, but Corrales weighed in today on our scale at 160. Clottey at 170, believe it or not.
You know, this is the first 10-rounder Diego Corrales had scheduled 10-rounder he's had since June of 2003. All his matches since then have been title fights. He's got 12.
And he's lost his last 2. Clottey coming off a loss, but looking good despite the loss.
Well, and in that loss, as we noted, he was doing very well over the first 5 rounds until he hurt his left hand.
So pushing on Diego with your head.
At the halfway point, unofficially press row. Joe Press from the Associated Press, Kyle Neddenrip from the local Springfield News Leader, Ben Schulberg from BoxingTalk.com. Across the board, Al.
They've given 1 round. I made the 5th round even. Here comes Corrales. I have it 50-46 for Clottey.
And Clottey now comes back with a left-right combination. Back comes Corrales.
You know, Diego Corrales, in terms of volume of punches, is doing a very good job right now.
But here comes Clottey. That was like hitting a punching bag.
Okay, watch your head. Watch your head. Box.
And it just bounced off the head of Corrales. Amazing what he can take. And remember, that was a big concern coming up in weight.
The Clottey pace has slowed. He has been fighting in spurts the last couple of rounds. Corrales, you can't say that about. He's had a pretty sustained effort to both the body and the head.
But there can be no question that Clottey is ahead.
Yeah, he's definitely ahead in this fight, but Corrales could narrow the gap if he wins this round, and this is a close round 6.
And he better start getting on his horse. Oh, what a shot by Joshua Clottey. And another one, a right hand to the head of Diego Corrales, and that looked nasty. His head just snapped back.
The old adage is if you win the last 45 seconds of a round, you might steal them, and that may be the case with Clottey.
And yeah, and oftentimes these are close. So here's Clottey. It's home run derby for Joshua Clottey. He is throwing bombs, just batting away at the head of Corrales.
You know, Corrales is throwing some great combinations in this round, but the showy punches belong to Clottey.
Look at this. Joshua Clottey on the inside continues to have his way, wailing away at Corrales.
Listen, when that 10-second bell rings, he unloads. Listen, when that 10-second bell rings, he unloads. You've got to move your head
down his throat. Diego, let me see the nose.
Let Jesse work. Listen to me.
Well, against the ropes, we saw plenty of action. This time, it's the center of the ring. They stayed in the center of the ring, and they battled it out during the course of that round. Clottey again using the uppercut. He's used it so effectively. Both men throwing great combinations. Great work by Corrales. You know, he landed a lot of good combinations in that round. But again, Clottey, at the end of the round, in the last 30 or 40 seconds, did some phenomenal work that may have stolen the round.
Well, talk about going toe-to-toe.
Right there.
Non-stop action for the most part in this fight, and it's going to take an awful lot to discourage Chico Corrales.
So it's been an absolutely spectacular fight.
And again, the crowd rallying behind Corrales.
You know, Dickie Wood wants Corrales to keep going to the body and move his head more. I'll tell you why they want to go to the body. They think they've slowed Joshua Clottey down. And maybe Clottey, to get down to that 149 pounds, because he ended up going back up to 170, drained himself a bit. And I'll tell you, Corrales has thrown some good body punches in this fight, as has Clottey.
Well, Clottey has really had success on the inside, the uppercuts, and of course his left hook.
You know, we thought, though, that if Clottey could land a lot of big punches, it might be too much for Corrales, he being the real welterweight. But give Corrales all the credit in the world. He's taken monster shots, and while he looked hurt early, he hasn't been close to going down.
Remember the old rock'em, sock'em robots? Very reminiscent of that.
This has been like that Corrales-Castillo fight, a textbook on inside fighting, great technique, good body work, everything you can do on the inside, these fighters have done and done well.
Corrales may not be winning this fight out, but once again he's providing a very exciting fight.
Come on, fight out of there. Let go.
Well, for a half of a round, he boxed tactically from the outside, and then it all changed.
And Clottey was right in his prediction that he would be able to lure Corrales in.
Now, the punch output, you have to say, has been more by Corrales. But are those punches as effective as the ones Clottey is throwing? That's what the judges are going to have to decide. This round, another classic example of that.
3 judges from the local area, 2 from Missouri, 1 Oklahoma. Clottey may be a little winded right now. That's what Corrales is hoping.
Corrales showing very good hand speed on the inside with those combinations.
And I'm very impressed with Clottey's hand speed as well.
Come on, guys. Fight out of there. Stop.
Clottey's punches, as Al would put it, more showy, heavier. But Corrales very busy.
It's been a very consistent effort over the last 4 rounds by Diego Corrales. But again, at the end of the round, here comes Clottey.
Corrales out of a deep crouch. If these two guys won't respect each other after tonight.
That's right. That's right. When you're close, don't wait. Keep touching him. Touching him. They set it out.
Clottey doing some very, very good work, getting the right hand in. When he's at medium range, he's done some good work. That punch that hurt Corrales earlier in the fight gets there, and there's the left hook, and always combinations by Clottey. There you see the straight right hand. We talk a lot about the hook of Clottey, but he does have a very good right hand as well. This fight is becoming a very interesting affair.
Look deep into the eyes of Diego Corrales.